All right, just getting set up here. I wanted to leave this out so I'd remember to show you. The last video, we looked at blending unlikely colors. I just want you to see how far I got in that. And then I'm probably going to finish up all the little bits with just some gel pens. So, and then as promised, we are going to get to work on this piece. It's the Art of Positivity. And I want to do something that is monochromatic. So, for instance, this is, let me find it. Oh, here's another one of those that shows unlikely colors. The wing clip that she's wearing and that hair. Okay, so that's some more examples. Okay, but what I'm going to show you now, I know it's in here because I had fun doing it. There is a monochromatic. That is, I think it's just 4 different blues in the whole page, and then some gel pens, and you can see the shimmer in that. Okay, so that's an example of monochromatic. Another example is, I did one, it's not in this book. Hopefully it is in this book because I don't have any other books in here with me. So let's see if it's in here. Hopefully it's a page done in reds. Oh, come on. You know, I don't like pushing pause and then having to go find something, but I guess if I was a little bit more organized, it would help. So here we go. And through the magic of the pause button, here is my other page. That's monochromatic. It's all greens. And I think in this one, I just used 4 different greens and that was it. So that's the challenge for May for the Coloring Books Keep It Clean group. So I'm actually going to do one grayscale in this book. So grays means I'm only going to use grays, blacks, and whites. That's it. So I have pulled from my Prismacolors gray or black and then gray at 90%, and I'm doing the warm grays. So I did 90, 70, 50, 30, 20, 10, and then white. So that's the colors I've pulled, and I'll name them as I use them. But, so anyway, monochromatic, mono meaning 1. So here we go. We're going to see how I can get this conveyed to y'all. So I'm going to start with my warm gray 10%. And I'm going to come and do, and you can't see that very easy because it's not that much darker than the actual paper. All right. So there's the first color. Then I'm going to go to 20%. And I'm going to get that on here. Blending lighter where it overlaps. And then I'm going to go to 30% in warm gray. The thing you have to wrap your brain around in doing this is that everything is in gray, black, and white, or whatever monocolor you pick. So you're going to have that color leaves. You're going to have that color flowers. Everything is going to be in just those colors. And if you can get used to knowing that everything is just those colors, then you're going to be a step ahead. That's the thing that's hard for a lot of people, is actually understanding that it's okay to not do grass in green. It's okay to have flowers that are green. So whatever your one color is, take it throughout your picture. And here I've gone back to the lightest shade that I'm using as a blender. Okay, just that lightest shade. And now when I look at this and squint my eyes, it doesn't look all one color. I can see it light to dark. That's another thing when you're doing a monochromatic. Actually, when you're doing any of your pictures, if you're really trying to do a lot of depth, you should be able to squint your eyes and see different colors. Now I've taken away my lowest percent, my 10, and I've added 50. All right, so now I'm going to go with my lightest, which is 20, and I'm going to start the tips of my leaves. And I'm doing this smaller section here, the smaller leaves. See, this is in the front, and then the mushroom is one step back, and these leaves are even further. So that's why now I'm going to my 30. That's why I've gone a little bit darker on this set of leaves. And now I'm going to go to my 50%. Okay, and I would go ahead and do like all those at once, all these at once. I'm just skipping around so I can hit different points before the video times out on me. Okay, so now let's look at this piece right here. This is like a focal point. I am going to add colors in my hand. I have all these in order from dark to light. So let's see, I know my darkest is going to be up under here. I don't usually start with darkest, but I'm going to, because I want to be sure it fits in there. So I'm going to do that and then get lighter as I come in. Same thing here. Lighter as I come in. And I can't really move back, you know my word scooch. Can't really scooch back much on that pencil because it's short. I need to wrap it with some paper so that it'll be lengthened. All right, now I'm going to go the next shade. And see, this is what I'm talking about if you'll do it evenly on both sides at the same time. Okay, so that was 90%. Now I'm going to go ahead and go on over to 70%. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump all the way down to my 20. I didn't put my 10 in here because it's so light. And I'm going to use this to blend. Now, while you're blending, if you squint your eyes and it's looking like it's all one solid mass, go back to maybe your second darkest and put some of that in. Getting lighter touch as you come in. Then get your darkest. And I'll just do that on the outside, not on the inside too. And now when I squint my eyes, I do see the light in the middle. You may or may not be able to from where you are. I am going to go ahead and pick up my 10% again. And again, these are the warm grays. I'm using the warm ones. Personal preference is all, okay? That's it. I'm going to do this middle area. And then I'm probably going to come back with a silver gel pen to do all the dots on here. Come back and do that later. Get this done. Then the next lightest, which is my 20%. Lighter as I'm overlapping. I just want that middle section lighter so that it looks like the light is shining on it. Okay. Now, do you see how I went all the way to the top and all the way to the bottom? That's because I'm going to make the edges darker, and I'm going to do right under our little snail darker, because he might be leaving a little shadow right there. Okay. And by doing the edges darker, it's also going to make it look more rounded and dimensional. Okay, now to my next one, which is my 30. And you would take your time on this. I am blowing through this pretty quickly because I only have 25 minutes, 30 minutes to get you a video done. But you would most certainly take your time. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with one more dark, 50, and do these edges. Now, as I do these corners here, to make it look like it's recessed back in there, you never want to use the same color here as you use here. You're going to lose the edge. When you're painting, it's called lost edges. You don't want lost edges. You want found edges. You want to always find them. So that's a good thing to keep in mind. I'm going to come back with my lightest shade and just start blending this. I'm not going to worry about those dots because I know I'm going to go over them with a gel pen. But are you getting the idea? You're coloring it as if it were a regular page with regular pencils, but you're using the same pencils over and over. You're not changing out to different colors. And it really is a good way to learn to blend and to layer and just to see what things are on top and bottom and all that. And again, you would really blend this. I just don't want to take the time blending when I could be coloring something else. But I'm going to do some. All right. So then there's that section. You'd repeat on both of these. This part, I am going to move to this pencil for the lightest. This is 30%. Was there any rhyme or reason to picking this color? No. So I'm going to put this in here. This is my 30. So if I were doing this in blues, this would be like a medium blue or medium whatever colors you're using. Okay, then I'm going to go one darker, which is my 50, and I'm going to do right here. Because this is kind of in the shadow of the top of the mushroom. So that's where I want a little bit of my shading to be. Just getting lighter as I go down in. I'll blend all that out later. Okay, I am going to take, let's look at this up here. You're going to keep repeating this for the whole page, all right? Let's look at this guy. Let's go ahead and go, not with white, that's going to be too stark. Let's go with our lightest, our 10%. Treat this like a ball. And I'm going to put it light up here and fading out. Okay. Now I did it off center because the light would be hitting here and this part would be more towards the bottom. Next percent is 20. So I'm going to go around here with my 20 and then go into it with a lighter touch. If you've ever colored a ball or a bubble or a sphere, an apple, when you've got a highlight on it, it's a lot like this. Okay, I'm going to come on around the circle, not necessarily to the edge. Yes, I know I've got cleaning up to do on here later. That's what happens when I hurry. Then I'm going to go to my 30%. Get right here, this little corner area. And then over here and around. See how that highlight is still in the middle? That's what you're after. I'm going on to my 50%. Doing just that little bit there. It makes it look like it's really curved back in there. We want the same thing down here. We want that curved around. So let's go ahead and put that in. Lighter as we come out. All right. Come back with our lightest and do some blending. We did the same thing here, but I'm not going to do the same lightest shade. I'm going to go in a couple of colors, or a couple shades. So I'm going to start with the 30% on this one. The 30 would be here. And then I'm going to move to the 50. And that 50 would be here. And then let's go ahead and do 50 here and here. Then we're going to play on and go to 70, which would be right down here, because that's what's deepest and at the back. And if you were using other colored pencils, you did the same thing. You'd get darker the further back you went or the further inside. Now this time, I'm going to go to my 20% for blending. I could go a shade lighter. I could go all the way down to my 10, and that would be okay. Either way on that. And again, if you just have 3 grays, and that's all you've got, use your 3 grays. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. Okay? So you're just going to keep doing this same thing over and over. Pick an area, color it. I could go really dark on these flowers. I've got a 90% in my hand. Lighter as I come up. Lighter as I come up. And then that's 90. Maybe I just go with 70% for these on the outside, because that one's actually tucked behind something. So maybe that's why it's a little darker. And you're thinking, oh, but I would never make flowers black. True, you might not. And these are up on the top, so maybe I go again lighter with them. Maybe I come up to 50%. But again, we have monochromatic. We have one color to make this picture look very interesting. I'm going to use the same color down here and down here. Then I'm going to go one more up, which puts me at the 30% for this one. Go ahead and blend that. I'm going to go ahead and use this 30% to blend these. Now, is there a rule that says to use the certain percents that I just did? No, there's not. I'm winging this. So I went up one more percent, I'm at 20. So now I'm doing this. And normally, I would make my flowers probably darker in the center and lighter on the outside. Again, I'm winging it. I am just going for it. I know I didn't even use that color in there, but it needed to be blended. All right. You're going to keep doing the same thing on the whole page. Now, for you that have heard of grayscale pictures that you can color, this should look something like a grayscale when you're finished. I'm looking to see if she has any grayscale for examples here. She does not. She is known for her grayscale pictures, Jane Madej. She does awesome grayscale coloring books. But just look up grayscale and then imagine it in just one color, but several shades of that one color. That's monochromatic. That's what we're looking to do on this. So that's it for this page. You know, we could keep going, but it's going to be the same thing. So I'm going to grab 3 pencils and I'm going to do this bottom section. I'm going to use the darkest down here. This is a 70%. Get lighter as I come out. So if you're a member of the ladies group on Facebook, Coloring Books Keep It Clean, this is going to be your challenge for May. Something monochromatic. One color. Several shades, but one color. Then this is underneath the lip of this, so it would probably be darker. And I'm pressing pretty hard. Instead of doing several layers, I'm just getting that all on at once. And then down a shade to the 50%. And I know I'm going to go down one more shade, so I'm going to go ahead and get that center in with the 30% before I do the rest of that other shade, because it'll be easier if I get this in. And then come back to that other 50% and get that in. See, now it looks like it's got a highlight right there in the middle of that stem. Come back in with the lightest shade that I've used in that area, which is 30, and just blend the whole thing out. Your Prismacolors are very creamy, so they're very easy to blend. Once you've gotten to where you can blend a Crayola pencil, these are like butter. But they also, because of friction, will leave behind a lot of the shiny bits and melt down some. So just be careful not to get going too fast with it. So, all right, that's it. I'm going to stop. I'm going to do the rest of this in front of the TV while I watch something. No idea. But anyway, have fun with it. I hope to see lots of examples of monochromatic over on Coloring Books Keep It Clean, because I gave you a heads up that it's coming. All right, enjoy. Let me know if you have any questions. Post those below. I do try to get back and comment on everything. Other than that, I don't know. Become a subscriber. That always helps me. Every little bit helps. All right, share my YouTube with your friends, and I will see you in a few more days. Bye.